Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a writer whose characters aren't just figments of imagination, but living, breathing, arguing voices inside her head. A vibrant, bustling village that shares her every thought and experience. Now take that a step further and imagine falling deeply in love, only to discover your partner harbors an equally fantastical, deeply personal secret. How do you even begin to build a relationship on that kind of radical truth? Today, we're diving into a narrative that doesn't just ask that question, it lives it.
Right. And what's truly fascinating here, and what our source material, which comes across as these really intimate journal entries and narrative excerpts so richly illustrates, is how an incredibly unique inner world directly connects to the broader universal themes of trust, profound self-acceptance, and an astonishing, almost magical act of creation itself. Our mission in this deep dive is to meticulously extract those nuanced nuggets of wisdom on identity, the immense courage it takes to be truly vulnerable, and, well, the astonishing culminating revelation about the innate power of stories.
All while following these two people falling in love.
Exactly. All of this as we explore the intricate, often tumultuous dance of two people falling in love amidst the most extraordinary and, frankly, unbelievable circumstances. We'll be moving from the intimate, sometimes, quite boisterous conversations and arguments within Rose's mind, through the rustic charm of her home and tranquility, and eventually into the bustling, magically infused marketplace of Wildwood.
It's quite a journey, as you say. It doesn't just challenge our understanding of what's real and what's fiction, but sort of dissolves those boundaries altogether. So let's begin with Rose, our protagonist, and this truly unique condition that defines her creative and, well, personal landscape. So as we dive in, we learn that Rose isn't just a writer in the way we normally think about it. Her characters aren't merely creations she puts on the page. They are, for her, autonomous beings, a dynamic, sentient ensemble that lives, breathes, and debates right inside her head.
Yeah.
We're not talking about some quiet, guiding muse here or, a fleeting inspiration. This is a full-on, bustling, internal community, a constant chorus of distinct personalities.
Indeed, and the sources give us these vivid, almost startling examples of this reality, especially through Rose's interactions with one of her most prominent characters, a woman named Juliet.
Yeah.
Juliet.
Yes.
We witness them engaging in full-blown, often quite heated conversations. Juliet isn't just a voice, she's a sharply defined personality. She offers blunt opinions, direct challenges, even really personal critiques of Rose's actions and choices.
Like a real person would.
Exactly. There's this particularly memorable exchange, for instance, where Rose has, let's say, written off another character named Damon, and Juliet is absolutely furious. She addresses Rose as authoress with this palpable disdain.
Ouch.
Right. And she even pushes the boundaries, making incredibly personal comparisons about Rose's physical attributes to her brothers. Rose tries to defend herself. She actually exclaims, "I'm much more desirable than your brother. Look at my breasts, Juliet. So big and plump, soft and squishy, mouth-watering, you might say."
Wow.
And Juliet, ever the unwavering critic, just retorts with absolute precision, "You might say Rose, but I prefer smaller, more delicate features like ivies. Pert, you might say, Rose, and much less likely to sag with age."
That is incredibly specific.
Yeah.
And kind of brutal.
It is. This isn't just internal monologue, It's a profound, lived, and sometimes quite intrusive relationship. It highlights a level of autonomy for these characters that just goes far beyond typical literary invention.
That's such a striking detail. It really brings this unique condition to life. This isn't just getting to know your characters for a novel. Rose is literally living with them. She estimates she has a couple of hundred or maybe 500 characters residing in her mind, the size of their own small village, right? A fully formed community within her consciousness.
A whole village.
Right.
Yeah.
This fundamentally redefines the author-character relationship. It shifts it from one of solitary creation to one of constant, often, contentious coexistence. These characters possess their own free will, their own grievances, and crucially, their own very strong opinions on Rose's life choices, especially her romantic prospects.
And this idea of coexistence, rather than just creation, it fundamentally shifts the dynamic of Rose's inner world. It's not just that they exist, they are active participants in her life.
Right.
This suggests a blurring of lines between her internal thought and, external dialogue almost. Her thoughts aren't entirely her own, but this dynamic, often kind of cacophonous debate with her creations. This unique reality poses immense psychological and creative implications. Does she ever feel burdened by this multitude, you know? Or is it solely a wellspring of inspiration? The source material suggests it's complex.
It sounds complex.
They are companions and confidants, yes, but also, at times, her harshest critics, internal saboteurs even. Imagine the constant negotiation required just to maintain a sense of individual identity amidst such a vibrant internal democracy.
That's the core question, isn't it? What does this all mean for someone trying to navigate what most people would consider a normal life?
Yeah.
How would you even begin to explain people living in your head to a new romantic interest, especially in those delicate early stages?
Yeah.
That's the exact monumental dilemma Rose finds herself grappling with, weighing the decision to tell Lou, her burgeoning love, about this extraordinary and potentially really alienating aspect of her very being.
And this internal debate is where the narrative truly excavates the universal struggle of vulnerability in new relationships. But for Rose, her unique condition just amplifies every fear, right?
Oh, boy.
Rose articulates several compelling, deeply emotional reasons for wanting to disclose her secret to Lou. First, there's the profound ethical and personal discomfort, feeling like she'd be lying to her by withholding such a fundamental part of herself.
Which makes sense.
Second, she wrestles with a palpable sense of shame, as if she'd be ashamed of you, meaning her characters, particularly Juliet, fearing how this inherent oddity might be perceived. And third, and perhaps most profoundly, she recognizes a fundamental barrier to true intimacy. She says she couldn't trust her with who I really, really am if she kept something so central to her being, so defining of her unique mind, a secret. This highlights that deep human need for authentic connection, even at great personal risk.
But then within this internal battle, Juliet, ever the pragmatist, maybe a voice of self-preservation, initially advises against telling Lou.
Right, she does.
She asks, with a cynical edge, why mess up a good thing? And she even questions if all writers experience this, implying it might be more common, less scandalous than Rose thinks.
Which is interesting, that internal counter-argument.
It is. It's an interesting moment, because even within Rose's own consciousness, there's this powerful debate about the wisdom of radical honesty, a stark contrast between the yearning for truth and the fear of, well, devastating consequences.
Exactly. Juliet's skepticism perfectly encapsulates that common instinctual fear many people have when thinking about revealing a truly unique or sensitive part of themselves to a new partner. There's that immediate paralyzing thought, what if they don't understand? What if they're repulsed? What if they reject me? For Rose, the stakes are not merely relational, but existential.
Yeah.
She eventually confides in Juliet, articulating, I never want to lose you, Juliet. That's why I feel that I have to tell Lou. This powerfully underscores that the decision isn't just about Lou. It's about validating her own internal world, affirming the reality and importance of her relationships with her characters, and asserting her identity as a whole, complex individual. The risk of losing Lou is weighed against the risk of denying a core part of herself.
This internal struggle, this constant negotiation between her private reality and her desire for external connection, it naturally leads us to wonder, how does living with an internal village, hundreds of distinct personalities, impact Rose's perception of privacy and personal space, especially regarding intimacy?
That's a huge question.
If a couple hundred, maybe 500, distinct individual entities are privy to your every thought, every sensation, every intimate moment, that's an entirely new dimension of exposure.
Unimaginable, really.
It certainly adds an unprecedented layer of complexity to any romantic relationship she might pursue, and it's a question the narrative starts to explore with startling honesty as her relationship with Lou deepens.
So as Rose is grappling with this immense weight and vulnerability of revealing her extraordinary internal world, the narrative brilliantly pivots. It reminds us that such profound secrets are often a shared human experience, even across wildly different identities.
So it's not just Rose.
Not at all. Because Rose isn't the only one guarding a fantastical truth. Lou, her burgeoning love interest, carries an equally astonishing and deeply hidden secret. She's a werewolf.
Oh, okay, wow, a werewolf.
A werewolf. But what's truly compelling here is not just the secret itself, but the nature of its initial manifestation, particularly how it intersects with her very first unwitting interactions with Rose.
All right, how did that play out? Because this is where it gets really interesting. The narrative deliberately complicates our assumptions. Before they even properly met, Lou admits a startling truth. She used to follow you through the woods because she found Rose irresistible and beautiful. Now, while that might immediately sound alarming,
It does, yeah.
Lou frames it with a very specific and crucial clarification. She describes Rose's scent as wonderful, but quickly adds with emphasis, not in a "I want to eat you" kind of smell.
Okay, that's an important distinction.
It really is. This detail immediately complicates the conventional idea of stalking and reframes it, not as malicious or predatory, but as a deep, primal, almost instinctual attraction inextricably intertwined with Lou's supernatural, wolf-like nature.
It's a vital distinction. This detail immediately challenges us to look beyond initial judgment. It's not about malevolent intent or violation in the traditional sense. It's about an overwhelming, almost instinctual connection that Lou, in her wolf form, felt towards Rose.
A magnetism.
Exactly. It speaks to a raw, untamed magnetism that predates their conscious human interaction. This powerfully connects to the overarching theme of hidden aspects of self and the intense, almost paralyzing fear of how those fundamental, often unusual aspects might be perceived by others.
Especially when they involve something like being a werewolf.
Or, in Rose's case, harboring a living, breathing village within her mind. Both characters are shown wrestling with the profound challenge of revealing these extraordinary, defining truths about themselves, knowing the immense risk involved.
So with these monumental secrets just hanging in the air, creating this invisible yet almost tangible tension between them, a trip to the magical city of Wildwood is planned. And it's here that Granny, Rose's wise and perceptive grandmother, plays a rather strategic, maybe understated role. She subtly, almost playfully, orchestrates a situation designed to foster intimacy and honesty.
Granny knows what she's doing.
She does. She gifts Rose her quaint cottage, making a point to say it's big enough for two. A clear nudge, right?
Definitely a nudge.
Then, with a twinkle in her eye, she encourages the journey to Wildwood as a perfect opportunity for a nice walk and a nice talk. It's almost like Granny possesses this intuitive understanding of exactly what these two young women need. A shared space, a shared journey, and a subtle push towards the vulnerability essential for their nascent relationship to truly flourish.
Granny's wisdom is clearly operating on a deeper level here, guiding them towards a shared experience that almost compels intimacy. And that intimacy truly begins to deepen during their time at the cottage after they've moved Granny's belongings.
Right, the bath scene.
Yes. They decide to share a remarkably personal moment, preparing for a bath, by pulling out a really large tin bathing tub and cast iron cauldron. It's an act of everyday domesticity that quickly escalates into something far more tender and revealing. Lou, with this natural uninhibitedness that kind of hints at her wilder nature, takes the lead, stripping off her clothes, and this gesture immediately causes Rose's porcelain skin to turn even redder, betraying her shyness and, well, mounting excitement.
And the description of that moment is so vivid. They fit perfectly in that large tub, a symbol of their growing emotional and physical connection. They share a single towel as they dry each other off, each touch and glance deepening the bond.
It's very tender.
It is. It's a moment of profound physical vulnerability, culminating in a sweet kiss after the bath, a clear signal of their burgeoning romantic feelings. Rose, overcome with emotion and connection, even confides in Lou, "I just had the best day of my life. I'm so lucky that I met you."
Oh.
But even in this tender, idyllic intimacy, a profound shadow persists. The unspoken truths that still lie between them, truths that could shatter everything they're building.
Absolutely. The very next day, the narrative brilliantly delves into Lou's internal monologue, revealing her own intense struggle with honesty. She explicitly acknowledges the imperative to revise a lie about how she initially found Rose.
The following story.
Exactly, recognizing with stark clarity that a genuine relationship can't be built on a lie. Her internal dialogue reveals this complex interplay of fear, the fear of scaring Rose off, of being seen as a monster, and the equally powerful imperative to be truthful, to lay bare her true self for the person she's falling for.
That's a universal struggle, isn't it?
It really is. This internal conflict is a powerful representation of the courage it takes to confront one's own deceptions, even those born of fear or protective instincts, for the sake of authentic connection.
This crucible of unspoken truths, these profound internal struggles, they inevitably set the stage for a dramatic external journey, a physical movement towards Wildwood that, in many ways, mirrors their internal quest for honesty and acceptance.
It does.
And it all culminates in a truly pivotal moment on their journey.
About a mile from tranquility, Rose finally just can't hold it in anymore. She admits she's been keeping something monumental from Lou.
And Lou responds immediately. Right. Lou, sensing the gravity, immediately responds with an equally fraught confession. Me too. I lied to you because I've been keeping something from you.
It's a beautifully, almost perfectly orchestrated scene of mutual, courageous vulnerability. The air just crackles with unspoken tension, the weight of their secrets pressing down. Rose, maybe seeking a shared burden, suggests they confess simultaneously. Okay, Lou, on the count of three, we both say our thing at the same time. Would that be okay?
Oh, boy.
And so they do. A moment suspended in time, two profound truths unleashed into the world at once. Rose reveals, my characters aren't just characters, they actually live in my head.
And Lou?
And Lou, in turn, confesses, I'm a werewolf, and before we met for the first time, I used to follow you through the woods because you're so beautiful and you smell so nice, but not in a I want to eat you kind of smell.
Wow. Bows barrels.
Exactly. It's a moment of immense relief, yes, but instantly shadowed by immense trepidation.
And the immediate aftermath. I mean, it's described as intense, right? Shock, silence, internal panic for both of them.
Oh, absolutely. Rose, in her mind, quickly processes Lou's confession, mentally labeling her a werewolf stalker. Even Juliet, ever the unfiltered voice, immediately chimes in with classic blunt Juliet-ness. Stalking monster. Seems pretty simple to me, Rose.
Of course she does.
But Rose, even amidst her own shock, attempts to defend Lou. She redirects Juliet's judgment with this humorous yet kind of cutting personal jab. Look, Juliet, everyone has flaws. You don't have to tell me you fart in your sleep and it smells so bad. I don't know how you can sleep through it once it was so bad I threw up.
Okay, that's one way to diffuse tension.
The humor, while genuine, underscores a very real, very raw tension. And Lou's reaction is equally, if not more, profound. It reveals a whole new layer of discomfort.
How so?
She's instantly hit with the unsettling realization that Rose's village not only exists, but can see everything I do. Her internal monologue highlights this devastating feeling of being on stage. She asks herself with genuine horror, wait, what? You mean the other day when we took that bath together, a whole village saw me naked?
Oh, no. I didn't even think of that.
Right. This immediate perception transforms their shared, intimate vulnerability into an inadvertent public performance in her mind. It creates this massive, almost catastrophic emotional chasm between them.
Yeah.
The relief of truth is instantly met with the burden of acceptance, particularly for Lou, who feels judged, exposed, and fundamentally misunderstood by Rose's internal audience. It's a moment where the very foundation of trust and intimacy is just shaken.
That's a powerful point, because it truly highlights the complex ripple effects of radical vulnerability. When you reveal your deepest, most unusual truth, how much control do you really have over the other person's reaction? Or even the unexpected reactions of the audience you didn't even know you had? This externalization of Rose's internal world immediately impacts Lou's deepest sense of privacy and comfort. It demonstrates that even a well-intended confession can create unforeseen challenges and profound emotional distance if not carefully navigated. So after these monumental, emotionally charged confessions, the journey towards Wildwood continues, and the text says, in awkward silence. You can just feel the tension, right? Thick and heavy with unspoken fears, shattered expectations.
Palpable.
Lou, perhaps desperate to break the ice or more likely to express her own profound turmoil, pulls out her lute again. But it's not just any song. It's one of the ancient histories of old, a tragic tale about star-crossed lovers.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, where the male, through a cruel twist of fate, is transformed into a bear who tragically ends up killing the woman he loves, and she immediately, almost violently, regrets her choice. Thinking, with a surge of self-reproach, how could I be so stupid? Of all the songs to play, now Rose is going to think that I want to murder her.
Oh, Lou. That musical misstep is incredibly telling, isn't it? It perfectly captures the intense fear, guilt, and self-doubt that often follow such monumental high-stakes revelations.
Poor choice.
Her choice of song, though likely unconscious, driven by distress, powerfully highlights her deep-seated anxieties about her werewolf nature. The potential primal threat it represents. The terrifying possibility that it could somehow harm the person she cares for most. It's a raw, almost desperate expression of her internal turmoil, projecting her worst feels about herself onto their budding, fragile relationship. This moment truly underscores the immense fragility of their connection as both women grapple with the crushing magnitude of what they've revealed. The silence afterward must have been even more deafening, laden with her regret and Ray's unspoken interpretation.
You can practically see them walking, each just lost in their own anxieties. The mood is anything but light. They finally arrive in Wildwood, seeking out Mad Maggie's magical bakery, a place Granny herself had recommended.
Right, Mad Maggie's.
And this is where the narrative introduces an even deeper layer of magic and, well, moral dilemma. They meet Lily, the baker. She's portrayed not just as a purveyor of magical treats, but as this incredibly wise, almost omniscient figure.
She sees right through them.
Instantly, she senses their hidden truths, discerning Rose's unique condition immediately after Rose describes her characters, and astonishingly, figuring out Lou's secret through Rose's own narrative of being saved by a large wolf. Lily, with this serene confidence, offers them a very unique and very magical form of help.
Yeah, Lily, perceiving their deep distress and the extraordinary nature of their secrets, doesn't just offer platitudes. Instead, she offers each of them a magical solution, a tangible way to fix, or perhaps more accurately, erase their unique conditions.
Okay, what are these solutions?
For Rose, she offers erase biscuits.
Erase biscuits. Simple enough name?
Deceptively simple. The effect would be to remove all the people in your head permanently. However, Lily, with a profound understanding of magical costs, immediately warns of the equally profound and irreversible consequences.
Ah, there's always a catch with magic.
Always. She explains that while it doesn't hurt them in the least from an external perspective, those characters close to you'll feel a loss like you died. And for Rose herself, the cost is even more stark. She won't remember them at all, so you won't feel a loss.
Wow, she wouldn't even remember them.
Not at all. This detail is crucial. It highlights a profound, almost terrifying severing of a fundamental part of her own consciousness.
And the cost goes beyond memory, doesn't it? Lily clarifies that Rose would not only lose her vibrant internal companions, but also her ability to use them in future novels, effectively crippling her as a writer.
Right.
More significantly, a core part of herself would be gone, and her vibrant personality would fade dramatically, becoming something less, something diminished. Lily then strongly, almost pleadingly, advises Rose to wait a week, emphasizing with immense gravity not to do something in haste you'll later regret. By losing them, you really lose a part of yourself.
It's a stark, unambiguous warning.
It is. It's about the irreversible consequences of erasing what makes her unique, implying that this condition is not a flaw, but an intrinsic component of her very essence.
And for Lou, Lily offers a parallel cure that would systematically remove her werewolf nature. Again, the consequences are significant and far-reaching, directly impacting her identity and livelihood.
What would happen to Lou?
Lou would experience a substantial loss of a lot of your strength, which, given her physical nature, is a profound change. More subtly, but equally devastating for an artist, she would suffer a drop in confidence level, an attribute inextricably linked to her profession as a bard.
Oh, that would affect your music.
Deeply. Lily, with her characteristic frankness, explicitly states, "Magic is great, but there is always a hidden cost. I want you going into this with your eyes wide open." So, both Rose and Lou are presented with the ultimate magical solution, a tempting shortcut to erase the very things that make them unique, presumably for the sake of an easier, more normal relationship.
It's the ultimate dilemma, isn't it? They're presented with this magical shortcut to perceive normalcy. A way to potentially make their burgeoning relationship easier by removing the fantastical elements that create such tension and fear. But Lily's warnings are so potent, laying bare the profound trade-offs.
Which presents a critically important question for us to consider, right? Is it ever truly possible to erase a fundamental defining part of who you are without, in essence, losing you? And what does it say about the nature of love itself if one has to fundamentally alter, diminish, or conform their very essence to be accepted by another? Lily's warnings aren't just cautionary tales. They frame these cures not as simple solutions, but as profound transformative choices with irreversible costs to their very identity, their selfness.
It forces them both to confront whether their love is truly unconditional.
Exactly. Or if it's implicitly conditional on altering who they fundamentally are. This is a moment of profound introspection, where the allure of an easy path is weighed against the terrifying prospect of self-erasure.
Before we get into Rose and Lou's monumental decisions about these magical cures, there's a really telling incident mentioned earlier in the sources from week 7 that gives us crucial insight into Rose's own deeply held ethical beliefs, particularly concerning the concept of agency.
Ah, yes, the incident with her brother.
Right. Her younger brother, Sebastian, then nearly 16, approaches her with a rather audacious favor. His friends have been teasing him because he hasn't ravished a girl before, and he wants Rose, the writer, to essentially write in a young lady for me to ravish.
Wow.
He even provides a detailed menu of attributes. A blonde with wavy hair, green emerald eyes, and really big breasts and a thin waist, and she should laugh at my jokes and be dying for me to ravish her.
Oh my goodness, Rose's response to Sebastian is immediate, unequivocal, and stern, isn't it?
Completely.
She doesn't entertain his fantasy for a second. Instead, she sternly educates him on the profound importance of agency and free will. She tells him directly and forcefully, you don't order girls off a menu based on their physical attributes. Girls have feelings just like you do.
Good for her.
And she then challenges him, making him consider how he'd feel if he were treated as an object. Asking, how would you like it if I went down the road and that plump girl with the red hair and freckles, she asked me to make you ravish her? Would you like that?
Turning the tables.
Exactly. This isn't just a moral lesson. It highlights Rose's deeply ingrained, almost innate respect for agency, that philosophical concept referring to an individual's capacity to act independently and make their own free choices. For Rose, this isn't limited to real people. It extends even to the potential existence of characters within her stories, characters she literally brings into being.
It's such a powerful demonstration of her ethical framework. This forceful rejection of Sebastian's dehumanizing request isn't just about teaching her brother basic respect. It underscores a core ethical principle that she herself will soon have to grapple with.
Absolutely.
Is she willing to take away the agency, and indeed the very existence, of her own internal village by taking Lily's erase biscuits? This discussion of agency, revealed earlier, directly foreshadows her own monumental decision in Wildwood. It becomes a kind of guiding star for her moral compass.
It absolutely does. It lays a foundational principle for her character, one that we know will be rigorously tested. Meanwhile, amidst all this personal turmoil and profound decision-making, Lou experiences a moment of unexpected, almost serendipitous triumph.
Ah, the music.
Yes. After her disastrous, anxiety-ridden song choice on the way to Wildwood, she again picks up her lute. This time playing a song she co-created with Rose, a melody born from their shared experiences. A traveling merchant happens to overhear her performance.
Right place, right time.
Exactly. And with genuine awe, reveals that her song is not only known but famous throughout Quintessence, the legendary model city for all others. The merchant is so captivated, in fact, that Lou is unexpectedly invited to meet the king and queen themselves.
Get out while all this other chaos is happening.
Precisely. What's so interesting and poignant here is how, while her personal life is an absolute emotional turmoil, her deepest secret revealed, her relationship hanging in the balance, an offer to erase her very nature on the table. Lou's artistic talent unexpectedly flourishes.
Wow.
It brings her widespread recognition and external validation. It highlights the profound power of shared creation, demonstrating how a piece of art can transcend immediate emotional distance and still resonate deeply with others.
It must have given her a boost, though.
Absolutely. This sudden, almost miraculous fame provides a crucial counterpoint to the vulnerability and self-doubt she's experiencing. It serves as a powerful reminder, both to her and to us, of her inherent worth, talent, and identity beyond her supernatural nature.
It really does. It's a crucial moment that allows her to regain a vital spark of confidence, a reaffirmation of her identity as a gifted bard, even as the biggest personal challenge of her life looms.
But the real defining turning point for both Rose and Lou comes later, after they've had some time to process their individual choices. As they depart Mad Maggie's, Rose demonstrates her unwavering commitment to their connection.
How so?
She explicitly suggests they prioritize their conversation over visiting the famous enigmatic parchments, a place she, as a writer, would normally be really drawn to. She states definitively, "No, you and I are more important than a book."
That big for a writer.
It is. This simple declaration emphasizes the profound shift in her priorities. It highlights the need for a truly intimate private space to finally heal the rift between them. They secure a room at the Jack and the Green Inn, deliberately choosing solitude and direct communication.
And it's in this secure private space, away from the prying eyes of the world and implicitly away from Juliet and the entire village, that the full truths previously hinted at are finally laid bare. Rose offers a further astonishing confession.
What else was there?
She reveals that her characters, her village, possess the capability to take over her body. Not against her will, but if I ask them to.
Whoa.
Okay.
She then explains that her character, the huntsman, took over her body specifically to track Lou through the treacherous woods the night she was attacked. This revelation explains the previously inexplicable, how Rose, an otherwise seemingly ordinary human, could have ended up in that dangerous clearing, allowing for her subsequent rescue.
Ah, connecting the dots. And Lou, in turn, offers her own full, unvarnished truth, connecting all the final pieces of their intertwined narrative. She confirms that she was indeed the large wolf chained to a tree that saved Rose from the attacking wolves that night.
Oh, it was her.
It was her. She explains the ritualistic necessity of her actions. She always goes to that specific clearing to chain herself for her monthly transformation, a desperate, responsible act to prevent her from harming anyone during her uncontrollable shifts.
Wow.
This revelation connects Rose's near-death experience directly to Lou's protective instincts and her inherent dangerous nature, reinforcing the deep, if previously hidden bond that has existed between them from the very beginning. The puzzle pieces of their past encounters finally click into place. This profound, mutual, and complete honesty, laying all their extraordinary truths on the table, this becomes the catalyst for their ultimate defining decision, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Both Rose and Lou, having fully grasped the implications of Lily's cures, choose to reject them. Rose, looking directly at Lou, says with heartfelt conviction, "I don't want you to change," Lily said. "If you take the cure, you won't be you. So please promise me that tomorrow you'll take your cure back and give to Lily."
It's a powerful statement of unconditional love and acceptance.
And Lou reciprocates the sentiment with equal depth and emotional force, cementing their bond. She responds, "I will, Rose, but only if you do the same. Lily gave me the same warning about you. You wouldn't be you without that village in your head. You wouldn't be the woman I fell in love with without that village. So please keep each and every one of them."
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is. This is the pivotal, defining moment of their love story. It's a profound mutual acceptance of each other's true, complex, and utterly unconventional identities. They choose radical self-acceptance and mutual love over conformity, convenience, or the desperate desire for normalcy. They choose to love the entirety of each other, flaws and fantastical powers included.
It's not just passive acceptance. It's an active, joyful affirmation of their unique selves as integral, essential components of who they are and, crucially, who they love. And this profound breakthrough culminates in a beautiful, unrestrained declaration of love.
Yes. Rose, almost breathless, asks, "Lou, did you just say that you love me?"
And Lou.
Lou replies, with no trace of the earlier fear, "Yes, I'm sorry if it's too soon, but it's how I feel and I'm not keeping anything from you ever again." To which Rose, with equal fervor, responds, "Lou, it's not too soon. I love you too." The relief, the acceptance, the sheer joy of their newfound honesty and mutual love are almost palpable. The source even concludes this chapter with a wonderfully intimate and celebratory detail. "Then we had a nice intimate supper in our room, and then I got ravished for the very first time, and second time, and third time, and then we kind of passed out."
Okay, using ravish there feels different.
It does. In this context, the word takes on a new meaning, conveying not coercion, but complete consensual abandon and passionate fulfillment. It's a stark and deliberate contrast to Sebastian's earlier, misguided request, celebrating the full, joyful acceptance after overcoming their deepest fears and insecurities. So, with their relationship solidified through radical honesty and profound mutual acceptance, with their individual truths embraced rather than suppressed, Rose can finally, with a lighter heart, turn her attention fully to her literary ambition.
Right, the manuscript.
Exactly. She leaves her precious manuscript at the fabled enigmatic parchments for Wizard Brightspark, or Sparky, to review. The description of the shop is evocative, whimsical, seemingly empty, with a single fluttering note asking her to return tomorrow. It adds to the magical atmosphere, almost as if the very place understands and is anticipating the unique, extraordinary nature of her work.
Absolutely. The next day, Rose returns, filled with a mix of anticipation and nerves. And this is where we're properly introduced to Grandmaster Brightspark himself. He's described vividly as a very tall, thin man with bushy white eyebrows and orangish red hair that almost looked like it was on fire, or at least glowing.
Quite the image.
Right. A description that immediately marks him as an eccentric, powerful figure. He instantly insists on being called Sparky, much to Rose's initial discomfort, but she quickly accepts this charming quirk. This highly unusual yet astute character immediately gets to the heart of the matter, demonstrating a profound understanding of Rose's writing.
Sparky, true to his nickname, wastes no time on pleasantries. He cuts directly to the core of his assessment. He immediately recognizes the unique, almost unprecedented quality of Rose's writing, stating with enthusiastic certainty, "I loved your book and I want to publish it. Today, as a matter of fact.
Today. Wow.
But he doesn't stop there. He goes on to express his deep appreciation for the vibrant nature of Juliet, telling Rose, I bet she really pushed back on you, really made you work for it.
He knows.
This isn't just a compliment, it's an astounding display of keen insight, hinting that he understands the true, living, autonomous nature of Rose's characters in a way no one else, save Rose herself, has ever articulated. He sees them not as mere literary devices, but as entities with their own will.
And this leads to the ultimate revelation, doesn't it? The core twist that fundamentally shifts our entire understanding of Rose's condition.
It does. Sparky, with a knowing look, corrects Rose. He tells her she is not just an author, but something far more extraordinary. A bibliomancer.
A bibliomancer? What does that even mean in this context?
Well, when Rose, understandably confused and insisting she doesn't know any spells, protests, Sparky clarifies. He explains that what she does bringing characters to such vivid, sentient life in her head is, in fact, the most basic bibliomancy spell, a foundational act of literary magic.
Her condition is actually magic.
That's the revelation. It's nothing short of a paradigm shift. It fundamentally redefines Rose's condition from a unique psychological quirk or an unusual solitary experience into a powerful, inherent magical ability.
Damn.
It's not just a talent. It's an innate power to make her characters manifest, to literally give them a form of independent existence. Sparky then makes a breathtaking request, asking Rose to bring her out now to meet Juliet, confirming that this power extends far beyond her internal world.
He wants to meet Juliet. Physically.
Apparently so. This astonishing twist suggests that for Rose, the very act of creative writing is not merely an art form, but a profound form of magic, literally bringing worlds and beings into vibrant, undeniable existence. Her entire perception of herself, her past, and her future is instantly recalibrated.
It's an incredible, almost dizzying twist.
Yeah.
Now, this revelation about bibliomancy completely redefines everything we thought we knew about Rose's condition. Expert. How does the source begin to explore the immediate and long-term implications of this power? Does Rose immediately grasp the full magnitude, or is it a slow dawning of this new magical identity?
The source doesn't detail the immediate aftermath extensively right there, but the implication is staggering. She's just been told her lifelong oddity is actually a potent magical ability.
Right.
And perhaps most fascinatingly, how will this newfound understanding of her inherent magic impact her relationship with Lou, especially with the village that Lou previously felt so judged by, if they can potentially manifest physically?
Oh, that changes everything for Lou's comfort level, potentially.
The implications for her identity as an author, a lover, and now undeniably a magical being are absolutely massive. This raises an even more profound question, really. If characters can literally step out of the page and into the world, what does that say about the entire creative process itself? Is the act of writing, for some, a literal form of magic, bringing worlds and beings into tangible being?
That's a huge thought.
For Rose, her perceived oddity, her unique condition, is revealed not as a flaw to be cured, but a powerful innate ability, a gift that transcends the mundane. This revelation fundamentally shifts her entire narrative arc from one of self-acceptance, which she achieves so beautifully with Ludo, one of extraordinary self-actualization, realizing a magical destiny she never knew was hers. It's a testament to the idea that our truest selves often hold the most incredible hidden powers. Hashtag outro.
Okay, wow. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
We've taken a deep, meticulous dive into a story that doesn't just challenge our perceptions of self, love, and the very fabric of reality, but exquisitely intertwines them. From the tumultuous, vibrant internal world of a writer with a sentient village in her head, to the hidden strength and primal instincts of a werewolf, Rose and Lou's journey is a powerful testament to the transformative power of radical honesty and the profound beauty of embracing our most unique, extraordinary traits.
Our deep dive today has truly highlighted several critical takeaways, offering insights that resonate far beyond this fantastical narrative. First, and perhaps most profoundly, it underscores the importance of self-acceptance and mutual acceptance in a relationship.
Absolutely key.
Rose and Lou choosing to actively affirm their unique identities, even when offered magical cures to erase them, speaks volumes about the nature of a truly unconditional, transformative love.
Right.
Second, it emphasizes the idea that our perceived flaws or unconventional attributes are often not weaknesses, but integral to who we are, essential components of our very essence, and that trying to erase them diminishes our fundamental being.
You lose yourself.
You do. And finally, the surprising magical connection between a writer and her characters, culminating in the revelation of bibliomancy, suggests that creativity itself can be a powerful, world-altering force, literally capable of bringing new realities into existence.
It's a truly inspiring narrative, isn't it? One that compels you to reflect on your own life, your own stories, and the hidden depths within you.
It really does. If we connect this to the bigger picture, in a world where we often feel immense pressure to conform, to hide the parts of ourselves that feel different or unacceptable, what parts of your inner village or hidden strength are you being called to embrace?
Mhm.
And how might your own stories, whether they are written on a page, composed in a song, or simply lived through the extraordinary tapestry of your experiences, be far more magical and powerful than you ever imagined?